Most people are not failing because they don't know what to do. You already know the basics when it comes to building an online business. Build an audience of people who resonate with your message and looking for the solution that you offer. Engage with them so they can build trust and connection with you, and then sell them the solution that they want to solve their problem. And you're the expert at providing. But the real reason people are stuck is because they're not keeping their word to themselves. You say you're going to do something and then you don't do it. You move the line consistently. You move the line more than actually taking action to doing those three things: building that audience, engaging with them, and selling to them the solution that they want. You keep promising yourself that I'm going to launch, I'm going to do this. I'll launch next week, I'll launch next month. I need 3 months to launch. I'll start posting, I'll start creating content, I'll sell. You promise yourself all these things, but then you move the line. Every time you get close to fulfilling that promise, you move the line. And I know it's not because you're lazy. It's because you've developed the habit of consistently moving the deadlines. So you know when you say you're going to do something, especially something new, especially something you perceive as hard, you know there's a high likelihood, or there's a habit, that you consistently keep shifting the goalpost. And if this is not true for you, that's totally fine. This may not be the video for you. But if any of what I just shared is a hint of what's going on in your world, that's what's preventing you from doing this thing you want to do, having that online business you desire to have, making a difference you feel you've been empowered to make, or just having to do it out of necessity. If those things resonate with you, I'll share with you a few of the things to look for and how to get past those hurdles that prevents you from keeping the word to yourself. If that's cool with you, if that's what you want to hear, put "keep my word" in the comments. Keep my word in the comments. I was there. I was there, and it takes a lot of effort to get out of that space and stay out of that space. But also, I get an opportunity to coach people every week. And a lot of my clients are really smart and accomplished people. But what I just shared with you is what happens to them. They get in that loop of making a promise, not starting, overthinking it, making another promise, not starting, overthink, and they go through that loop. This one habit you develop is the bottleneck, is the clog in the wheel, is the reason why you're not seeing the results that you desire. And for many people, it's not huge results they're looking for. They're just looking for some proof that this works. They're looking for a little proof that this works for me. And that proof, that small proof, is the thing that gives you momentum. But if you keep promising yourself you'll start and then stopping or not starting, it becomes harder to develop that momentum. But what most people do is they ignore that and they run to another strategy. And they don't really focus on, okay, what is causing me not to keep my word to myself, not to hit the deadlines that I say I want to hit because of these things I desire to have. Because as soon as you're able to identify that and then start working on it, more than likely whatever strategy, whatever course, whatever coach you're working with, what they're teaching you will work. And because you're not keeping your word to yourself, that's one of the reasons all the things you're learning is not working. And I put that in quotations, right? Not working. And this goes to even learning. You may have invested in several courses, masterminds, different programs. You may be in one-on-one coaching, but you're not following through on what those programs, that coaching, those masterminds are directing you to do. You may be going to your coaching calls and nodding and saying, yeah, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. But then the next coaching call, you come back with a reason why you didn't do it. You may have purchased a course or 2 or 10, like I have. Look, I went through a season in my online journey. I purchased thousands of dollars in courses and didn't use them because of what I'm going to share with you. And one of the reasons I kept moving the deadline is the reason for me to create an online business wasn't a very pressing reason. When I started out in my online journey years ago, over 15 years ago, it wasn't the need for the money. I had a middle management job I enjoyed and was making decent money at the time. It was just a desire to do something different. So I didn't have a big pressing reason to go ahead and do this and make this happen. And I find a lot of people, it's become building an online business is something not, it's something would be nice. It would be nice to have that. It's not something that I need to have. They don't have a really meaningful reason behind it. Without a meaningful reason why you're building this online business, it becomes very easy to postpone the deadlines. It becomes very easy not to do the things. Everything else gets priority over it because there's not a pressing reason. And that reason doesn't have to be dramatic, but it has to be something that really deeply matters to you. If it's a nice to have, that's okay. But if you're doing it, hey, because I need to, because I want to, because I get to do this, that's the best reason. Because I get to do it. And this is what's going to do for me. So many times when you don't have that reason, when you don't have that purpose behind why you're building this online business, it creates a lot of uncertainty. You're unsure what you really want. So you start to fly in the wind. And that becomes easy to shift the deadlines and stop keeping your word to yourself. So instead of learning one thing, completing that course you just bought, halfway through it, you decide you'll buy something else. And then you'll sample a piece of that, and then you'll try something else. When you have a clear purpose and a reason to be doing this, then you can align your actions to that clear choice you have. And here's the thing, it's not forever. But what I found, online business, your learning and your implementation compounds. The more you learn and implement, even if it's not the thing you're doing long term, it compounds, it builds the foundation, and it gives you a platform to grow from because you're creating small wins along the way. Now, in order to do that, you have to keep your word to yourself. And then the last thing I'll share with you, there's a couple more. There's a few more things, but I'll share with you a third one here. And if you want to talk about this, if you want some help, if you want some clarity to move forward from this, there's going to be a link in the comments below. You can book a complimentary coaching session or join my sales coaching gym community, and you'll get some more help with keeping your word to yourself and understanding why it's important and putting some systems in place that allows you to do so. Because as soon as you start creating one small win, you start building on that. You start trusting yourself again. And one of the things that prevents you from doing that and prevents you from trusting yourself again is the desire to be perfect. Perfectionism. You may have heard it. You delay starting, you postpone starting, you move your deadlines, you change your commitments because you're feeling, oh, I'm not ready. This is not perfect. It needs to be better. It only becomes perfect after you do and you put out, you do and you put out. I can say that because I've been at this over 15 years. I spent about 5 to 7 years trying to be perfect. And guess what happened? Nothing was done. I was stuck in the same cycle. Breaking my word to myself. Tweaking, reshooting, improving, and doing all these things behind the scenes. And giving yourself feedback. Usually your most critical person. Put it out there. And that's how you test it. Accomplishing your deadline in an imperfect way is better than moving the deadline. Way better than moving the deadline. A lot of times being perfect or getting it all right is disguised for fear. And your online business can grow if you're fearful. Yeah, it's natural to be fearful, but we can work on strategies to overcome that. And what helps you overcome fear is creating proof that that fear is not real. And that how you do that is keeping your word and putting things out there. Define what done is to you. Define what the goal is. Get clear on it. This is the thing I'm going to do. And do it. My friend, I encourage you to make a deadline and follow through. It'll feel so great. And it'll create so much momentum, not only for your business, but for you personally. If you need some help, there's a link below. We'll jump on a call. I want to learn about you, what's causing you not to keep your word, and potentially there's some strategies that I can share with you that can help you.